Hey Wealthwise family, welcome back to the channel where we make sense of sense, pun intended, and help you live a financially smarter life. Today we're diving into something that's probably crossed your mind. Why does the boss's paycheck look like a lottery win, while most of us are just trying to keep up with inflation? You know, it's almost like the corporate ladder has a broken middle step. The C-suite is up there flying in private jets, middle management is holding on for dear life, and entry-level employees are like, wait, there's a ladder? In this video, we'll break down the growing wage gap between the top execs, middle management, and the rest of the workforce. Why is it happening, and what does it mean for us regular folks who aren't taking home millions in bonuses? Stick around to find out. First off, let's look at the cold hard facts. According to a report from the Economic Policy Institute, EPI, in 2022, the average CEO to worker pay ratio was a staggering 320 to 1. Back in 1965, it was only about 20 to 1. So, while CEOs have been seeing their pay multiply, the rest of the workforce hasn't exactly been keeping pace. And it's not just the entry-level workers feeling the pinch. Middle management isn't exactly rolling in it either. A 2023 Deloitte study found that while C-suite pay has skyrocketed, middle managers' salaries have grown at just a fraction of that rate, about 12% over the past decade. So, if you've ever wondered why your boss's boss's boss is driving a Bentley while you're still deciding between 2-ply or 3-ply toilet paper, there's a reason for that. Alright, so why the huge gap? Let's talk about a few of the reasons. One major factor is stock-based compensation. Many top executives are paid in stock options, not just salary. This means that when the company's stock price goes up, so does their paycheck. Big time. Entry-level and mid-level employees? Not so much. For example, in 2021, Apple's CEO Tim Cook earned $770 million in stock-based compensation. That's not a typo. $770 million. Meanwhile, the average Apple employee earned about $55,000. Granted, salary and stock compensation are not the same, but there is still a huge gap in income opportunity here. Let's just say, if you're working at Apple and hoping for a pay bump, you might want to start working on your coding skills, or your negotiating skills with Wall Street. Another factor is the way corporations have changed in recent years. Companies have become leaner, and middle management has been squeezed. The idea is to streamline operations to maximize shareholders' profits, which, surprise, also includes the C-suite. Middle managers now often handle more responsibilities for the same or slightly higher pay, so we're seeing a pattern: fewer people in middle management, more work to go around, and executives reaping the benefits of those efficiency gains. Alright, so we know why it's happening, but how is this affecting the rest of the workforce? While executive pay has soared, wages for entry-level and middle-income workers have remained mostly stagnant when adjusted for inflation. A study by the Pew Research Center found that the median wage in the US has barely budged in the past 20 years when adjusted for inflation. In other words, the cost of living keeps going up, but your paycheck isn't. And it's not just about the paycheck. Middle management in particular is feeling the pressure. A Harvard Business Review report found that middle managers are increasingly stressed and burning out faster than employees at other levels. Why? Because they're stuck between the demands of higher-ups and the expectations of their teams. It's like being the middle child in a corporate family, ignored by both the rich older sibling and the needy younger one. But somehow you're the one expected to keep everyone happy. What can we do about it? So how do we fix this? What can be done to bridge this gap between executives and the rest of us? One potential solution is implementing fairer pay structures, such as limiting the CEO to worker pay ratio. Some companies, like Ben & Jerry's in their earlier days, capped executive salaries at a certain multiple of the lowest paid employee. While that idea didn't last forever, it's an interesting model to consider. Another option is strengthening worker representation on corporate boards. Germany, for example, requires that large companies have workers on their boards of directors, which gives employees a greater say in decision-making. Finally, companies can invest more in skill development for all employees and offer greater pay transparency. Knowing what the execs make versus what entry-level and middle managers make can create more accountability. Conclusion. So, there you have it. The growing gap between the C-suite and everyone else isn't just about unfair pay, It's about a whole system that's left the workforce feeling undervalued. But the more we understand it, the more we can push for changes that benefit everyone, not just the top 1%. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all get to fly private. Or at least, have our own row on Spirit Airlines. Call to action. Thanks for watching Wealthwise. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on tips to build your financial future. Drop a comment below. Do you think C-suite execs are overpaid, or are they worth it? Let's chat.